Alex, good morning, good evening, good night. How are you?
Good night. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Very good. Welcome from a little bit of a different setting today. How are you, Carlos?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you. I'm great. I'm excited to be back live again. And you mentioned last week that we would be talking about migrations.
Such a big word.
And it's a word that it's a scary word for many people because it feels like ooh, danger. And we're going to talk about why would you consider migrating your systems to somewhere else, and what problems you would think you might have, what problems you will actually have, and what to do to make a smooth transition.
Mhm.
And so the first thing that I would like to ask you is why would someone want to migrate their systems? And when we say systems, we say email marketing, automations, CRMs, calendars, and all this other stuff to somewhere else.
Yeah, and funnels. Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, you're probably a better person to answer that because everybody who comes to you basically needs a migration. So you've been through all of those cases. um, when it comes to me, a lot of people come to me and they say they have so many pieces of technology, just switching between them takes a long time, and they lose focus. They want to have everything in one place. So that's a big reason for people. Personally, for instance, I don't mind having the pieces of software, a variety of them, because I love software. I love learning new software, and I appreciate when it's really built towards one specific goal. But a lot of people want to have everything in one place, and there is a big benefit to that because you can just connect the automations and workflows so much easier when everything is in one place, and you can just create amazing automations. So that's one. And another reason that I hear from people is they want to have everything in one place so that they don't get distracted. Because
No, that's a good one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
So
a good
it's
one.
like it's a psychological thing for them.
Yeah.
But I know your clients come to you when they are growing, and for instance, they are growing
Yeah.
into a team.
From my experience with clients and myself is when you're starting up, you usually migrate software to somewhere else because you're trying to find the cheapest option or the most cost effective option. This is sometimes a mistake because sometimes you want to save a few dollars at the beginning, and it ends up costing a lot of money and time down the track. But it's understandable. The other biggest reason why people are thinking about migrating is because they want to find a solution that it's easier, that it's as integrated as they possibly can into one place. Because as you say, like if you have like let's say you have like five different pieces of software that on top of the costs that keep adding up at the end of the month, when you have if you have them all interconnected with one within with another, you have five different support teams that you have to reach out when something is not working.
Mm,
Now, also what happens, for example, if you use Zapier to connect automations, and now you have automation software A connected to software B, and it's connected with Zapier, and now something is not working, and you reach out to software A support team, and they'll say, no, you need to reach out to software B. Then you go to software B, and they say, no, you need to reach out to software A, and then you end up reaching out to Zapier, and Zapier says, well, look, this is software that it doesn't belong to us, so we cannot really help. So you're just in a limbo of support, with nothing, with not knowing what to do. So to me, that's the biggest reason, and it's one of the reasons that we don't realize that we have the need until we really have the need. Because when we are worried about money, we are willing to put in the time. But when we are already growing and generating money, what we are really worried is about the time, and we
yeah.
we are willing to spend a few more, or in some cases, you can spend less and put it all together. So this would be for me like the two biggest things that I see people wanting to get rid of one software and move onto another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's always the topic of hiring a team. So and seeing what everybody is doing, and if they are working on your leads, you want to have a place where you're going to be able to see all the information that people are inputting. And there's a
Yeah,
learning curve, probably a few months for new team members. So it's really important to have the transparency there, because without
yeah,
it, people run into such big issues with families,
yeah,
uh, with teams. Um,
yeah.
uh,
If you definitely, if we look into teams and handling people, like, why would you be talking to three different support teams when you can be talking to just one? But look, the all in one solution, this is something relatively new, because not until like a few years ago we did have this one in all solution. This is the one that we are using now. Um, and now when you talk to someone, or someone looks at the software and says, "Oh wow, I love that," but you know what? I've got so much stuff, I can't really think about how hard it's going to be to bring all this stuff together here. And the truth is that it's not that complicated. Like, what you want to do is to create a backup of the things that are really important and make sure that you have everything covered. Is that what you do with your clients as well?
yeah, so I don't know if you watch Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, or have you heard of Marie Kondo?
Mhm.
Okay, well, she is awesome. She is a tidying up expert, and what she does in her show, and I've only seen a few episodes, but it transformed, my wardrobe basically. So what she does is a family reaches out to her and they tell her our house is a mess and we don't know how to clean it up anymore. And this is what happens with your, email automations and funnels, etc. You've been creating those products for God knows how long, and you have the big mess, and you finally realize I don't even know how to clean it up. And what she does is she makes you take everything out and then figure out what is necessary. So you mentioned those things that are really important, right? What do you
Mm.
want to keep? And I think it's a great exercise, because it just,
Yeah,
when you see how many things you don't want to keep, how many things are not necessary, and you let
exactly.
go of them, it creates so much headspace, and it
Yeah,
just it gives you the space to breathe. So migration is a fantastic place to start, ready from scratch. It's like,
yeah,
washing yourself after being in the wild for 2 weeks, after taking that first shower, right? So
yeah.
that's
That's a
my approach.
Oh no, it's a great point. And the thing is that we kept, like, I've been living in different countries since like for the last 10 years. And one of the things that I noticed is, like, every time you get to a place, you say, you know what, I'm gonna keep things clean now. We're gonna keep things simple and easy. I'm not gonna accumulate a lot of stuff. And after 1 year, you have so much stuff there. The next time you move, it's like, okay, it's time to clean the house. And then you start getting rid of things that you thought you needed, but you really don't. And
Hmm.
when you do a migration, it's a good time to say, okay, let's start fresh. And what I tell my clients all the time is, hey, let's move it one at a time. And what is your biggest priority? Let's focus on this one first.
Hmm.
And usually what we do is you make a list of the things that are the most important, and we focus on these things. So these are the things that sustain the business, for example. And we create all the backup copies. And that's something that it sounds like a lot of work, but it usually takes like a few minutes, seconds. And then we start replicating this stuff into the new software or the new platform, or in the business hub, as we're doing now. And once we have all the systems functioning as they were before in the new software, which it usually, again, it doesn't need to be taking like days or weeks. It's usually a matter of hours to check that everything is fine. Then you can delete the old to welcome the new. And it's usually very simple, very easy, and very fast.
So let's talk about it. Within those couple of hours of a migration, what can be migrated? What kind of a migration are we talking about? Because everybody has different needs and they have different, sizes.
Yeah, usually what we do is we get, okay, so what tools are you using on a daily basis? And it's usually calendars, it's usually email automation, and website, of course. So what we do is we replicate the calendars, we replicate the email sequences and everything inside the new platform, and we rebuild the website. And we usually do that in the time where clients are sleeping. So let's say that you're in the United States, and in this case, we are in Europe, but our team is all over the world. So we just choose a time where all your clients and yourself are sleeping, and then we make this smooth transition, and we disconnect one and we reconnect the other. So it's usually now, for example, we're transitioning like a full WordPress website from a client to our servers. And what we are doing is we are making a copy of the website and we're installing it in our server. Now, when the website is ready, the customer gives us the green light. What we do is we change the domain and we point the domain to the new server. So even if you were looking at the website from the outside, at the moment that we do the transition, you would not notice the difference. You would not be able to appreciate it. There is no downtime.
Yeah, exactly. And if when it comes to your calendar, for instance, you just give people a new calendar link. So that's easy as well. Transferring your contacts is usually as simple as just downloading them in a CSV file and uploading the contacts. There's no loss of information, and actually, it's a good point to. So the preparation, mostly, if you want to really do it well and do some cleaning up, and everybody wants to do cleaning up in the process and improve their data. When you have that data, when you have your clients in the CSV file, you can play around with it and maybe get some more data out of it and figure out a new structure and then upload it already ready in this new structure. So the preparation and the design takes the most part, and then implementing it is that the easier part when you already have a good plan and there's some decisions to be made, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're 100% right. Like, it's a good time to shake things up a little bit. You'll see when a client sends you an email list, they have like 2,000 tags, like 7 different email lists, and it's a total mess. And then have like half of the contacts don't have information, and they sending emails to contacts that are wrong. The emails go to spam. Their domain gets flagged, and then it's a good time to say, okay, well, let's see what you have, let's see what you really need, and let's see what you want to do. And it's actually really good for people to start fresh, because you actually save them time moving forward. In most.
Exactly. And because now they are a little bit more business savvy, because it's already a migration, they are not new, you can give them ideas of how to maintain this healthy, clean structure. And it's possible with like naming conventions, so we get into the nitty gritty of how to keep things neat, because that's one thing, you want to keep them neat. So actually with Marie Kondo, we watched an episode of when she was telling us how to make your t-shirts and your clothes really look stuck neatly in your drawers and in your wardrobe. And my partner redid his drawer with all these t-shirts, and normally you just put them flat and you stack them, right? She has a way of folding them, which is a lot of fun to do it, and where they are stuck so that you can see all of them at once, and they kind of look like book covers. And it's like, you always think, okay, how long am I going to maintain it? Well, we've been at it for 3 years. It's exactly the same, because the system is good and you know exactly how to maintain it. So you have that idea. So it's crazy how many benefits you can get actually from migrating and cleaning up stuff.
Yeah. So I think the first thing is not to stop looking at look, sometimes you might have very complex systems and software and things that might be hard to migrate depending on what you're looking. So this is not a one size fits all. You need to look at every case as unique, because I did find like cases like when I looked inside, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it because maybe you're looking into migrating what you have in a place to somewhere that it doesn't have the same capabilities. So the first thing is to get the green line from the expert or someone who's done it before, and so you're not feeling like you're walking in the wild and risking your business. But yeah, getting someone's advice, someone who's done it before, definitely probably the most important piece of advice that I can give to you today.
And you got to remember that when you migrate a website, for instance, all the buttons and all the link need to be migrated too, or you can keep them in the old place, but you got to remember about it. So it's not just about the front end, but it's the back end. What is happening in there? So it's your buttons, it's your forms, it's your calendars, it's your email automations, and well, these things need to be just manually put in place again. And what I do with my clients, because I have like an intimate relationship with them that's longer lasting, is always improving the things. So if I see that in your automation we can add stuff or remove stuff, or it's not really, you tell me it's not really converting, I have this automation but it's not really working, we're going to improve that on the way. So that's another benefit of having somebody, an expert, help you out with that.
Yes, that's true. That's true. By the way, since we're talking about migrations, I'm gonna be posting today. I'm gonna send a couple of emails that you guys know that we talk a lot about the Business Hub, and we have all the automations, all the software integrated into one platform that it would cost you like usually a third of what you're already paying with half of the platform that you're using. And what we're doing is we're offering like a free migration. So basically, is having a look at your stuff and do it what you just said. Like we look at what you have, we bring it across. You don't have to spend time or money with paying experts or paying like teams that do the migration. We do it all for you. So that's something available. I'm going to be posting about that today. So keep an eye.
Yeah. Was there anything? I think there was one more thing that we wanted to talk about when it comes to migration. I don't know. I had an idea. Forgot about it. Forgot what it was. Never mind. Never mind, guys. If you have any questions about migration, I mean, it is a big topic, because the things you may be migrating your funnels. When you're migrating your funnels, you got to migrate your product structure and perhaps your payment processor. Perhaps you're selling your products right now and you have them set up in Stripe, and now you're migrating to some sort of a system that requires you to recreate the products within the system. So that's another thing to be mindful of. You may be migrating your courses, videos, just a membership. So it's not like every migration is the same. Actually, each of them is quite different.
Yeah, but look, that's why you want to find someone who's done it before. Like every time that I migrated a system to somewhere else, like I realized something or I learned something new. And when you've done it a few times, you know that, I mean, the first time I did it was a mess with myself. Like I lost contacts, I lost links. Like it was not worth the time and the money that I was saving. But now we just make sure that all these things don't happen. So it's easy and it's smooth and it's stress-free for everyone.
Awesome.
So okay, we almost on the 20 minutes mark. So look, do you have anything else, Alex?
No, that's all, I think. Just bring questions. You can ask them in the comments, or you can ask us about migration, or really anything that you need regarding your software, and we're always happy to help.
Awesome. So we will see you next week, same time or similar time. And if you're not part of the group yet, join the group. We'll drop the link somewhere in the comments, and let us know where you're watching from, even if it's the replay.
Yep. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.
All right.